Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Savannah if you're new here. So today I'm going to be doing a Madison Beer inspired makeup tutorial, and I just love Madison Beer. I always watch her like Vogue and Allure makeup tutorials. So today I'm going to be following the Allure one. I'm really happy with how the makeup turned out. So if you guys want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I'm going to be following Madison Beer's 10-minute beauty routine for a glowy blush look. And it's by Allure. So this is the makeup routine we're gonna be going off of today. So after watching this video, I honestly feel like that my makeup routine is very similar to hers. She does like a few different things, so I'm excited to try like her little tips and tricks. But the first thing that she does is goes in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, and that's always the first step in my makeup routine too. The only thing different that she does is that she applies her Hollywood Flawless Filter with a sponge, and I always like to apply mine with a brush. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I actually did just spray my face with this Peach and Lily Glass Skin Veil Mist Hydrate and Glow. She doesn't use this in her video, but I just felt like my skin was a little bit dry, so I just went in with this. I'm gonna go ahead and start applying this all over to my face, and I'm just using my viewfinder as my mirror because there's a big mirror behind me, but it's just like super far away from my camera. So I'm just gonna put this like all over my face. I'm gonna use 2 different shades. Oh shoot, I actually used the wrong shade. Usually I'll use this one for like the high points, but I just put the wrong shade on. So this one is in the shade Too Light, and usually I'll just put this one like on my cheekbones and everywhere that I want to highlight, but I accidentally put that like a little bit on my cheeks right here. So now I'm gonna go in with the same Hollywood Flawless Filter, but this is in the shade 4.5 Medium, and this is like a little bit closer to my skin tone. So I'm just gonna kind of go on top of where I just put the other color. Okay, so I just kind of put this all over my face, and then like I said, she uses a brush, or no, she uses a beauty blender, but I like to use a brush. So I'm taking this Makeup by Ariel A24, and I just start like blending both colors together, and I don't really like drag, I kind of just like pat it into my skin. I feel like it just looks a little bit more like seamless that way. And this is like the only thing that she puts on her face in this video. And that's usually what I'll do for like a summertime makeup routine. If I'm going out or something, I'll put a foundation on top of this. But I actually just really like this product all by itself. Okay, so that's all blended out with my brush. So now I'm just gonna go over my entire face with just a damp beauty blender, just to make sure that everything's all blended out and there's no like brush lines or anything. Next, she goes in with concealer, and she uses the NARS concealer, but I don't have that one. I used to use it all the time, and then for some reason, once I ran out of it, I just stopped using it. But that one is a really good concealer. So I'm gonna use the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Concealer in the shade L5. So I feel like this one is pretty similar to the NARS one. So she just uses a little bit and just goes like right under her eyes. I don't like using too much concealer because I feel like it makes me look a little cakey. So I just put a little under my eyes, and then on the bridge of my nose, and then right in the center of my forehead, and then on my chin. So basically just like anywhere that you want to highlight. And then I'm gonna take that same damp beauty blender and just blend all of this out. I always do my under eyes last because I like it to sit for just a little bit, because I feel like it adds a little bit more coverage when it sits for just like a few minutes. So I'm looking what she does next, and she sets her brows next, and I usually like, that's one of the last things that I usually do, but that's what she does. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows, and she doesn't really like fill them in or anything. She just kind of sets them in place. And I never really fill in my brows either. I do if there's like little sparse areas right here, but usually I don't. So, and I don't know what she used. She like said it really quick. I'm not sure what she said and what she used, but I'm gonna use the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade 4.5 first. And I just lightly go over my brows. And then I'm using the Benefit 24 Hour brow setter and just like going over top of that, and this will just like really keep your brows in place. So next is a cream contour, and I really like how she uses a lot of cream products and then she goes over top of them with powder, which I always do. I love doing that because I feel like it just really holds everything in place. And she uses the Tom Ford one, I'm pretty sure, and I don't have that one. So I'm just gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but this is in the shade 6.5 Deep. So it's just like a bronzy contour shade, and I just really like the formula of this. So it looks really pretty. So I just do like 3 little dots on each side of my face, and then also just like on my forehead. Any of like the normal places that you would put contour. And just start blending this out, and I just like tap it into my skin. I don't like to brush because I don't want to brush up the foundation that we put before this, so I just like lightly tap it into my skin. And then for my nose, I just like run my brush down the sides of my nose. You want to make sure to like brush it into your hairline and not down this way. And you don't have to do this if you have like a small forehead, but I just like to add a little bit of color. Now for blush, she used both of the Charlotte Tilbury like contour wands, and I don't have like the pinky blush shade. I only have the highlighter. So I'm gonna go in first with the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Happy, and then I'm gonna go on top of that with the Beauty Light wand in, I think this is Spotlight. Yeah, this is the shade Spotlight. So I'm gonna do this after the blush, but I'm gonna do this first. And if you haven't used this before, you have to be like so careful because it is so pigmented. So I just do like 3 little dots on each side of my face, and then also just like a little bit on my nose. So I'm gonna blend this out before I do the highlight, just because, I don't know, I feel like you get more pigment out of your highlight when you do it separately. So I just like lightly tap this into my skin. It looks like we have a lot of blush on right now, but once we go over with like other products, it will dial it down a little bit. And it's really funny because this is literally like my makeup routine that I would do, but just like in a different order, I guess. I just really like using a lot of cream products in the summertime. I just feel like it looks a little bit more natural. Okay, now that that's blended out, now we can go in with the highlighter wand, and I haven't used this in such a long time. I honestly don't really use this product too much just because I feel like it's really messy, because I feel like the cap gets really messy, and I just honestly like other cream highlights better than this one. I'm just trying to squeeze a little bit out. See, it's just like, I don't know, it's really hard to use. But I'm gonna go and put like 3, I can't remember how pigmented this is. Just like 3 little dots like that. And then same thing to the other side. And then also down the bridge of my nose, and then right on the tip of my nose. And I'm just gonna take the same beauty blender and just lightly tap it into my skin. Yeah, I guess this is really pigmented. You probably didn't need to use that much. It's okay though. So the skin is definitely glowing. It actually looks really good. It's like a little intense right now. So I'm gonna go over with the same beauty blender, not the same one that I just used. I've been going back and forth between 2. This is like more of a clean one, and I'm just gonna go over like my entire face just to make sure everything's like seamless and blended together. Yeah, the skin is looking really, really good. I don't know if you can tell, but the highlighter is really pretty. I would use it more often. I just really don't like the packaging, but it is really, really pretty. Now we're gonna set everything in place, and she uses the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Powder in the shade 2 Medium. So there's only 3 shades of this, and this is the, or I actually don't know if she uses the medium shade. I have the medium shade, and she uses just under her under eyes. And I like this powder for like a finishing powder. Like when I'm done with my makeup, I'll use this to just make sure like everything is set where I want it to be set, like right in the T-zone. I usually don't use this under my eyes, but we're gonna see how it works. So she just like taps it, I'm pretty sure. For under my eyes, I usually like to use a loose setting powder and then use a beauty blender and just like press it in. I usually never use a pressed powder for under my eyes. So then for the eyes, she uses her eyeshadow palette with Morphe, but I don't have that one. I actually really want to get it because it looks like it has a lot of pretty colors, but she just uses like a white color, like not super white, but just like a lighter color, and puts it on her lid. So I'm gonna go in with the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette because there's a really pretty shade. It's this first one right here. It's called Certified. So I'm just gonna take this on just like a fluffy brush and just kind of like put this on my eyelid. You can't really tell on camera, but I actually feel like this looks really pretty just doing like a lighter color on your eyelid. I usually just do bronzer just in my crease. And then she goes in with a darker brown color, like more on the outer portion of her eye. So I'm just gonna use my bronzer on a bigger brush than I just used and just like go along the outer portion of my eye. And then she also does a little eyeshadow wing. I feel like she's kind of like known for her winged liner and like her eye shape. So I'm just taking the same bronzer and then using this little, I don't know what these are called. This is the Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH43. And I'm just like tapping a little line. And then now she kind of like sets everything else in place, like all of her other makeup, with just some powder products. So for bronzer, I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Glowish bronzer in the shade 2 Medium on this huge Pro Sephora bronzer brush. This is the number 80. And she doesn't use too many powders, so I'm just gonna lightly tap this into my cheeks to set my cream contour. And then on the forehead. And I'm also gonna bring this like a little bit on the neck too. And then of course we have to go in with more blush. So I'm gonna use 2 different blushes. I can't remember which powder blush she used, but I know I didn't have it. So I'm just gonna use my favorite blush combo. And it's the Makeup by Mario Soft Powder Blush in the shade Poppy Pink. This is like more of a brighter color. And then the next one that I'll use is the Dior Backstage Rosy Glow bronzer. This super popular one. And I honestly never really used to like this blush, but when I started pairing it with the Makeup by Mario one, then I like am obsessed with it. So I just take a little bit of the Makeup by Mario one, and I just use this on like the high points of my cheeks, like my cheekbones. And I don't use too much of this. This one is very, very pigmented. And then always a little bit on my nose and on my chin. And then next I go in with the Dior blush. If I can get it open. And then this one I use on a more fluffier brush. And I use a lot of this one. And this one goes on like the apples of my cheeks. And this just makes your cheeks look so cute. And then lastly, before we set the face, she goes in with a powder highlight. And I'm gonna use the Ofra one because I didn't have the one that she used. And it was more of like a goldy, bronzy color. So I'm gonna use this one. This is the Ofra bronzer in the shade Glow Goals. This is such a pretty highlighter. I don't really use it that much just because I've been really into the Jaclyn Hill highlighters, but this one is really, really good. So I'm just gonna use like a fluffy brush, and she kind of just like puts this on her cheekbones, not too precise or anything. Okay, I don't know if the camera is gonna be able to pick it up, but the skin looks actually so good. Put a little more. Yeah, the skin looks really, really good. And then I'm just gonna take my finger and go into the highlighter and do a little bit inner corner highlight. To set my face, I'm gonna use the same spray I used at the beginning of the video, the Peach and Lily one. So I'm just gonna do a few little sprays. The setting spray is just so good. Then I kind of just let it dry a little bit. So while my setting spray is drying, I'm gonna put mascara on. And this is the Monsieur Big by Lancome. So I'm gonna put this on right now. Okay, so my mascara is on, and I feel like I have a bunch all over my eyelids, but I'm gonna wait for that to dry and then I'll use a Q-tip to get it off. But next she does her lips, and this is the last thing that she does. She uses the Charlotte Tilbury lip liner, and I honestly like never line my lips ever. So I didn't have it. All I had is the Kylie Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Bear. I honestly don't even know if they sell this anymore, but this was the only thing that I had. So I'm just gonna like line. I need a mirror. And this is probably so expired too. And then to finish off the lips, she goes in with a lip oil. And I actually really like lip oils. I just don't really wear them that much. I have this one. It's the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oil in the shade Crystal Drip. And then this one's actually really pretty. I'm just gonna put this on. Okay, I think that is going to complete this video. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll have Madison Beer's makeup tutorial from Allure linked down below in case you guys want to watch that. And make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss out on any videos, and I'll see you in my next one.